We're phenomenal. Yeah, yeah. Soca does give me powers. Yeah, yeah. Turn me into masqueraders. Soca does give me powers. Yeah, yeah. Draw me shit in different colors. Masqueraders. We get me powers. It's a wonderful feeling. On stage together. Rolling with banners. With different colors. We crossing the stage. She left the road, the road, the road. She said everything, everything. Everything must be big. So big. Big speaker. Big chop. Big wheeler. Big road. Big road. Big road. Big road. We wind up on. We wind up on. And get on that and walk she man. Big road. Big road. Big road. She want a big road. From the time she see the road, from the time she touch the road, she start wind up and get the road. She want me to be this like she so. She want us someone who can jump she up on the street. One who can handle it and mix it up, make it sweet. No little than, just bigger than the highway. She want more space to wind the waist. 'Cause if the road too small, it's traffic jam in the place. She want
And we get interactive in a short. Remember 451-7827, 451 star. And you can get interactive via WhatsApp as well here on the star.
she love the road.
534-7827.
She say everything, everything, everything must be big, so big. Big speaker, big chop, big wheeler.
It's like the signature song to get the program started. Yeah.
Big road,
I tell ya.
big road, big road. We wind up on, we wind up on, and get on that and walk she man. Big road, big road, big road. She want a big road. From the time she see the road, from the time she touch the road, she start wind up and get the road. She want me to be this like she so. She want us to
morning, good morning. We apologize, especially for those of you on the live. The sound is not as crisp as it normally is, and we're trying to figure out why. But we go along nonetheless, and we try fixing the plane while you're flying this morning. So we apologize for the hoarse sound that you might be hearing, and we can't figure out why at all. We can't figure out why. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Monday. It is the 23rd. Is it the 23rd or 24th? The 23rd of 24th, sorry, of April 2023. And we don't have the best of summer online at all. Yeah, we don't have the best of summer online at all. I don't know. Best, but I know what's going on this morning at all with this song. Yeah. Yes, we working on the song. We working on the song. Yeah, it's a kind of holiday. And hold on, let's do this. We're doing our best. We're doing our best. Let's see this now. And Bling, you would tell us what the situation is. We are. So let me see. All right, working on that. All right, okay. All right, so well, one viewer says the crackling is gone. So let's hope so, and let's hope it's clear and crisper now that we hello. So much better today. All right, wonderful. All right, so it's Monday morning, the day after the weekend, and the day after the VPL. I got to talk a little bit about VPL. For those of you who were able to watch it, I know Ev was looking at some of it where he is, and it was an impressive showcase. And I really want to congratulate the organizers, the Cricket Association, and everybody that took part, sponsors and so forth, the players, for being part of such an exciting tournament that ended yesterday. You know, I'm wondering now, Bling, we're going to know 3 o'clock, 2:30. We're going to know. You know what I mean? For a few of the games, I was able to sneak out and run out there and watch a bit of it. But that's gone now. Yesterday, the Rangers, a team that participated in the final game last year but came out second best, did better this year and came out champions of the 5th edition of the VPL, with Strikers coming out second. Now, mind you, those two teams, Strikers especially, was also a team that isn't traditionally a strong team. So very good performance from Strikers this year. All right. The crowd out there was nice. I mean, nice big crowd, Bling, big crowd. I was really pleased with the turnout yesterday afternoon.
Yep.
And the individuals, the fans got a treat. They got a treat. Now, mind you, though, I must say, remember the name Bradwitt? I did not come out to see you hit singles. Really, seriously, man. I come out to remember your name, but boss, your performance was forgettable. I won't forget it. You know, I come out to remember the name, but I won't forget your performance. Chuck, 2-3 little single and then boom, get caught out. Like, why is that?
That's like me and you playing outside.
I'm saying, and now we do it than that.
Yeah.
Come on, my last ball now. We are last ball. Let me play the roadside flying the ball cricket. You know, it was good to see the Tiger, Shiv Chandapal, yesterday, looking good. Still with his movement in the crease before he faces the ball. You know, it was good, and the young man who bowled Chandapal, you know, boss, like, I mean, never mind, he's an old Chandapal, but still, you know, boss, you couldn't see you old Chandapal, he got his wicket. You know, so it was it was really a fantastic tournament. And again, I congratulate all of those who participated in it in one way or other to make it the success that it was. Looking forward for the next edition, VPL 6, when we are vibes, and even more vibes. All right? No, yes. Good. So I wanted to go back last week a little bit. By the way, yes, I want to was last week. And the point I'm going to make this morning for the entire hour. So if you don't want to hear me talk with Dr. Gonzalez this morning, here's your chance to turn off. Because that's what I'm talking about this morning. I think sometimes we take for granted the importance of leadership. And I don't know why. And Christians especially, people who call themselves Christians, and I think I rather use that terminology, people who call themselves Christians should be the first set of people to understand how important leadership is. It's because as you go through the Bible, you remember the children of Israel being led by God, all when they had the wilderness experience and so on, you know, God was leading them as a pillar, a fire in the night and a cloud in the day and so on and so forth. They had the direct leadership of God. But then they decided, hey, everybody around, we want a king. We want a king too. And so it was allowed, something those who call themselves Christians refer to as the permissive will of God. It was allowed that they have a king. So they got a king. But even so, you notice how involved and specific the traits and the characteristics of those chosen to be king were. Let's go back to David. When they realized, boy, Saul is done in. So you want a new king. There's some instructions. Samuel said, well, God said, Samuel, go to this man's house. And he has sons, he has plenty boys. And so the prophet of God went to the house. I guess Jesse was his father's name. I can't remember. So long name, boy. And this is Jesse. And they see his sons. And the prophet said, oh, this one is strapped. This one is built strapping, boy. This had to be the king. Because he's looking for certain things for leadership. But the father said, nah, that's not what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. And the search went on until he got to the last one, who was the most innocuous looking and all that stuff. But there were things about him that were developing, that were growing as he matured, that represented what God the Father wanted as characteristics of the leader of his people. Bling with God. Bling with God. We do. Okay. There were certain characteristics that he wanted. No. Similarly, as the leader of the country, there are also characteristics of a leader of the church. Man who desires to be a leader must be the husband of one wife, must not be taken to drunkenness, must be able to control the family. Leadership important. So the fact that people who call themselves Christians don't play the seriousness of leadership, and specifically the quality of leadership provided by Dr. Gonzalez in some of our roughest times, is quite interesting to me. Quite interesting to me. because they more than anyone else know how serious that is. They more than anyone else know how involved the process for searching for leader is. So explain to me how they are so cavalier and sometimes so disingenuous when it comes to the leadership provided for a country. No. Last week, Dr. Gonzalez goes to a conference, a symposium in Trinidad, to address the issue of crime as a public health challenge. And the leaders of CARICOM were there. This was a leadership conference. You understand? So people like Dr. Gonzalez, charged with the same responsibilities of Dr. Gonzalez in their various countries, were there. People voted by their various citizenry, voters, to lead their countries were there. And just like St. Vincent and the Grenadines, all of these countries have the challenge of crime in varying degrees. In one of his rare moments of coherence, the member for Central Kingston says this. I think I'll play it. Let me play it because I have it in my phone. I didn't give it to Bling but let me play it. Let me play this because I want y'all understand what's going on. I think is this one.
At the moment is I want to show you how we have to be very careful in the answers that we give. Trinidad and Tobago at the moment is the richest country in the Caribbean by far. It has 6% unemployment. Now, if a country has 6% unemployment, that is falsely said that you have full employment. But with all that high quality of employment, Trinidad has the highest rate of crime in the Caribbean. So that says that you can't jump to conclusion that crime is necessarily a consequence of employment, unemployment, or poverty, even though it may be an indicator.
Ollie White again? Ollie, want it again? Let me play it one more time because I wanted to hear one of the rare coherent moments. And we're going to discuss it.
I want to show you how we have to be very careful in the answers that we give. Trinidad and Tobago at the moment is the richest country in the Caribbean by far. It has 6% unemployment. Now, if a country has 6% unemployment, that is falsely said that you have full employment. But with all that high quality of employment, Trinidad has the highest rate of crime in the Caribbean. So that says that you can't jump to conclusion that crime is necessarily a consequence of employment, unemployment, or poverty, even though it may be an indicator.
No, Dr. Gonzalez made that point a long time ago. And he keeps making the point. He says, for example, when you talk about murder, he says if somebody frustrated because they now kill somebody else, they kill themselves. But the truth is, the NDP, its supporters, its leadership, not all of its supporters, some of the more vocal ones, inspired by their own leadership, would always jump to the conclusion every time there is a crime reported, every time there's a homicide, or it's because of unemployment. And they are the ones who are making that very, what's the word I'm looking for? That very strong link, almost a causal link between crime and poverty. They have been doing that and they continue to do that. Because, you see, it is too much to ask of the NDP to approach a societal challenge for what it is, and not approach in the manner that requires solutions, and not approach it from a partisan political standpoint. Because the truth is, the default position of the NDP is partisan political opportunism. The default position in this, when discussing anything at all by the NDP, is partisan political opportunism. So if we're talking crime, the NDP adopts a partisan political opportunistic position in discussing crime. And they will want to tell you it's because of poverty. Oh, there's so much poverty and the government needs to do more to poverty, and unemployment high and people frustrated. That has been their talking point. If we are discussing airport, partisan political. If we're discussing constitution reform, we know the story, and I could give all the examples. Their position is driven, is informed by the prospects of the next general elections. Not what is best for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So that is why their founder said, if you all make that airport open, crap will smoke all the pipe. Not crap will smoke St. Vincent and the Grenadines pipe, because St. Vincent and the Grenadines will be okay. Heck, St. Vincent and the Grenadines will be good. But the NDP will be in problems. That is why in Parliament, Sinclair got up and said, yes, it is a better constitution. It's better than the one we have. St. Vincent and the Grenadines would be better off with the new constitution. Clearly, if the constitution we have now is not as good as the one we are proposing, then clearly we would be better off with the one we're proposing. Clearly, the one we're proposing would advance, deepen, broaden our democratic processes here in this country. But alas, even after admitting that the one that we have now is inferior to the one that came out of us, that is homegrown, he then turns around and says, but I'm a party man. And my party cannot allow the appearance of a success for the ULP in the passage of a new constitution, so we voted no. It had nothing to do with the fact that St. Vincent and the Grenadines will be better off. So we understand that it's all about partisan political opportunism. Hello? No. Last week, Dr. Gonzalez goes to the conference. Which wife are you on? He goes to the conference. And he makes a number of pronouncements. And how do I know this? Well, other leaders in the region, including Trinidad, the country referenced by the member of Central Kingstown, have chosen of all the other leaders that spoke. I want you, listeners, wherever you are, go on Facebook. You're on Facebook and look for Keith Rowley page. Keith Rowley is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the country that Leacock says has the highest crime in the region. And you would see which leader, other than himself, Keith Rowley chooses to use, whose presentation he uses on his Facebook page to make certain points across. Not once, but twice.
And even if you go on Andrew Holness'
Well, I
page,
go in there, man. I go in there. Yes, that's all right, Bling. You know I go in. You know I go in. Prime Minister Keith Rowley puts the entire presentation of Dr. Gonzalez on his Facebook page. He says, look, Prime Minister Zimizangwin made some excellent comments. I don't want to misquote it. So let me read what he said. Let me read what he said. He says, hold on. He says, earlier today, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Honorable Ralph Gonzalez, delivered remarks on day 2 of the regional symposium, Violence as a Public Health Issue, the Crime Challenge. Listen to Prime Minister Gonzalez's remarks. Hey, he put the whole presentation. He ain't put a Joel Nesson. He ain't put Mia Matleys. He ain't put Philippe Jean-Pierre at St. Lucia, or Dickon Mitchell. All of them fantastic leaders in their own right for their own countries. He puts Dr. Gonzalez full remarks. But I guess he wanted Trinidadians. Mind you, he has over 600 and something thousand followers, eh? Let me hold on. Let me tell you exactly how much he has. 192,000. Sorry, 192,000 followers on that page. Right? So, although he put the entire presentation there was something else he wanted his followers to zone in on. And so he puts another clip from Dr. Gonzalez. And he quotes Dr. Gonzalez. He puts the clip and he pulls out a quotation. Quote, "The bulk of young males are making us very proud. Let us never forget that. Thousands of our young people who do well do not get this kind of coverage, that kind of coverage." And then he says, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Diambi Ralph Gonzalez, made the comments yesterday during one of the regional symposium, Violence as a Public Health Issue, the Crime Challenge. The leader of Trinidad and Tobago puts up Dr. Gonzalez's whole presentation. And then he goes back to another presentation where he's saying, look, the majority of your young men are doing well. They're making us proud and they should get coverage. Now, do you think Asbord and Luke Boy and the others who rushed to pull the little clip, they didn't see this party? And I say Asbord because his Instagram page is the first place I saw the clip. And you're tagging somebody in it. So those same individuals, those same people who dishonestly sought to spin Dr. Gonzalez's words, saying how, Dr. Gonzalez blaming beautiful women for crime. Did they see this part where he was saying that our young men are doing well and making us proud? Did they? Did they? So, how is it? How is it that our own people, Dr. Rowley, a prime minister, he can see positives in Dr. Gonzalez's comments. So positive, making such an impression that he puts them on his own personal Facebook page. And what are our people, the Vincentians, doing? Looking for trivia. Looking for trivia to spin. Why? The leadership provided by Dr. Gonzalez to this region is appreciated throughout the region and thankfully by the majority of Vincentians. However, there is a noisy crowd. There is a noisy crowd that seeks to rubbish and take for granted and minimize the leadership that he provides, that he continues to provide. But cheap? Well, the post on Facebook say they're trying to score cheap political points. By now, I think Vincentians recognize that. But it gives us a chance to expose them where they may think they are escaping. So the NDP continues to be partisan in its approach to development in Muslim ridings. And everything is viewed from a partisan perspective. Everything. We have to reject that. But like Blink says, let's not get stuck with Prime Minister Rowley. Let's move over to Jamaica, the most populous Caribbean country, CARICOM country, and one also with its own crime challenge. Its own crime challenge. Like Dr. Gonzalez, Prime Minister Holness on his personal Instagram page, and this one has 680-something thousand followers. He also posted 2 presentations from Dr. Gonzalez. 2 different parts of the presentation. One where he talks about the role of the justice system in combating crime, and the other one where he talks about the consideration of the death penalty. Again, oh my God. So hold on. Dr. Gonzalez talks about the use of the death penalty. He talks about the role of the justice system in crime. He talks about our young men doing us and our young people doing us proud, and the majority of them not getting positive coverage and so on and so on. And the only kind of coverage he got was negative coverage from the spinners, from the spin doctors, from the political opportunists.
Bastian, not to cut you off, but if you read what Andrew Holness said, he paid great respect to Dr. Ralph Gonzalez.
Yep.
In his tagline.
Yes.
When
Yes.
he referred to the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yes.
And if you look at the comments as well, coming from Jamaicans, they were asking for us to send Dr. Gonzalez to their country as their Prime Minister. Because in their words, he has B.
On the first post, he says, there was some thought-provoking presentations from the Crime and Violence Symposium in Port of Spain. Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, addressed the role of the justice system, the role the justice system plays in dealing with crime and violence. That's one of them. He says, in continuing to share aspects of the recent discussion, this is the second post he made of fighting crime, the point was made by Dr. Gonzalez that we must take decisive efforts to prevent and deter commission of murder in our society, including giving consideration to the death penalty as a means of sending a clear message that such heinous acts will not be tolerated in our countries. And he said, you know what, the Europeans ain't gonna like it. They go say they gonna give aid, but we have to put that as an option. One person said, like Blink says, this man should be the Prime Minister of Jamaica. This man should be the Prime Minister of Jamaica.
That I totally agree with Comrade Dr. Ralph Gonzalez. He's correct if you're willing to,
And they're challenging Prime Minister Holness. They want one person ask, PM, when are you going to start talking like this? Jamaicans are challenging their Prime Minister to talk like this. And when our Prime Minister talk, and he talks straight, and he talk plain, he said, one of the things, because Dr. Gonzalez say, I do have my foot firmly planted in the sky, He says, it's what they're talking in the taverns, in the bars, and the shops and so forth. They're talking it. And the issue of the judiciary, where he made a valid point that whenever politicians criticize the judiciary, you're interfering. But the judiciary rule, look, that is why in England there's a big thing about judge-made laws, They say nobody vote judges, but when they make ruling, it becomes live essentially. And so judges feel that they could criticize and comment on ruling by the elected officials, but nobody should comment on their ruling. Because what? You're perfect and loud and what? So Dr. Gonzalez made the point, in the same way politicians are subject to fair criticism, judges should be too. There's a big discussion in the UK. Big discussion about judges. Because the parliament could make any law. The ultimate law making by the parliament. But yet a court, a judge who wasn't elected can make a ruling to say that this law is ultra-virus. We just saw a judgment by Justice Esco Henry that says the SRNO by the Parliament was basically bad law, and her ruling nullifies the law. A judge ruling nullifies the law. Essentially. And so all of the actions taken by the government are deemed to be unconstitutional, according to the judgment of the judge. In essence, the judge has criticized and made of non-effect a law made by the parliament, elected members, elected officials. Surely, I am not talking about the character of the judge being personal or whatever, but similarly, those who make the laws, who are advised by lawyers, and some of them are lawyers themselves, should be able to say, but Judge, I do agree with that. Judge, I disagree with that. Judge, I think you're wrong. In my opinion, I think you're wrong. In my interpretation of the law, I think you're wrong. They should be able to say that. All of these ideas were discussed in the symposium. But you know what came back from St. Vincent? You know what St. Vincent posted? You know what was discussed for days? 22nd clip where Dr. Gonzalez says that there are some young men who engage in relationships with women who like nice things that the men can't afford. And so in order to afford those things, they engage in crime. That also is something that we talk about all the time. But no, that is not enough. The dishonest ones have to spin to say, oh, he say woman, pretty woman causing crime and causing murders. Really? Bling. People listening. People hearing. Loud attitude. Don't we talk about people, husbands, who have, let me not make it a sexist thing. Although this was specific to men. Don't we talk about people who have a spouse and all the spouse will spend the money. Eh? And he did with the girl and all the girl were high life and he can't afford for the girl. You take all the money and do this and do. I mean, seriously, man. Let me talk real business, man. Have the conversation. We know people who are in relationships that are beyond their means. We know that.
Yep.
And unfortunately, some of those individuals engage in activities and actions that are contrary to the law. And everybody in the symposium heard Dr. Gonzalez so.
Yep.
Holness heard it. Rowley heard it. Didn't take that and make a mountain out of it. The Trinidadians, look at the comments under the clips that I played there. Nobody from Trinidad or Jamaica, whatever, pick out that. Guess who picked it out now? Guess who picked that out to make that issue now? And to spend now? Guess. I guess. Guess who picked that out to make that issue? Not the Trinidadians. The over 10,000 Trinidadians who've seen the post on Rowley's page. Not the thousands of Jamaicans who've seen the post by Andrew Holness. No. A few intentions, including some members of the leadership of the NDP who, caught in the tailspin that they are, looking for a distraction. If we don't recognize the value of our leadership, if we don't recognize the value of the leadership that we have, and that is why Labour Party supporters say, you know what, Dr. Gonzalez, carry us to the next elections. And when that time comes, we will elect a leader to carry on your legacy, to carry on the legacy of this great party, and to carry on the development plan of this country. These are three things. When we come back, we will take a call. We'll take a quick break. We had a mouthful, but I had to set the tone of the program. So now when we come back, it's called.
General Hardware still has the best prices on steel, lumber, and plywood. So go on, compare prices. And if by chance you find a better price, no stress. Just talk to the General, and they will beat that price plus give you special priority delivery. Yes, General Hardware offers free island-wide delivery on most purchases, so you never have to worry about getting your goods on site on time. Plus, shopping at General Hardware is a pleasant experience with friendly, knowledgeable staff always ready to serve. What more could you wish for, huh? So come to General Hardware for proper service, lowest prices, free delivery, and see why nobody beats the General. Nobody.
Miss, hey miss, come over. Take a look at my necklaces now. I have one that would be perfect for you. Miss, hey miss. Fine. All you coming to People Island to look and then what buy nothing now. Cheap self.
Excuse me, miss. You know what you just did? That was the wrong way to get the tourist attention to buy your product.
Wrong way, sir? I ain't studying wrong or right way. I just want to sell me necklace them and go home. I getting the attention any which way I can.
While everybody trying to sell their crafts, you have to bear in mind that tourists come here to enjoy our country and relax. And they don't want to be harassed. We want them to browse and walk around and choose for themselves whatever they want to do, what they want to buy.
Tourism is for me. Tourism is for you. Tourism is everyone's business. Live it, love it.
What if you could marry that idyllic view of the outside to the warmth and comfort of the inside? No more barriers to that perfect panoramic view, filling up the entire room with natural light and cool breezes, creating that seamless transition between here and there. Discover the beauty of our bifold patio doors from Kendra's aluminum products. Two spaces have now become one smooth flowing space with a simple flick of a handle. Blur the lines and make your sanctuary spectacular. Enjoy outdoor living from the inside out with a touch of modern elegance. Transform your living spaces. A room with a view now belongs to only you. Visit our showrooms today and ask about our bifold patio doors. Another quality product from Kendra's Aluminum. Kendra's aluminum products exports to all islands in the Caribbean region. Call our export team today for assistance. Kendra's Aluminum Products Limited, a tradition of excellence.
SVG's newest beauty store, The Beauty Shack. Beauty Shack. There you will find a wide range of items for ladies, from human and synthetic braids and weaves to half wigs, bras, panties, costume jewelry, handbags, purses, and a whole lot more. The Beauty Shack, guys, you're not left out, as there's a variety of colognes and gift sets to choose from. At The Beauty Shack, located on James Street in the same building that houses Eat Right Restaurant. Opening hours 7:30 a.m. until. Visit us or call 485-6681 for The Beauty Shack to make your true fashion statements.
She said I'm worth nothing. He said no one would believe me. Why she keeps hitting me? I'm so scared. It hurts. I don't want to go home. Don't touch me there! Help me! Help me! Help me!
If you think reporting is uncomfortable, think about how they feel. During the COVID-19 pandemic, children are still at risk for being abused by people they love, people they know, people they trust. If you suspect a child is being abused, call the Child Development Division at telephone number 456-2949 or report it to the police. Don't wait until it's too late. We can help.
This message is brought to you by the Child Development Division within the Ministry of National Mobilization in collaboration with UNICEF and funded by USAID.
Foster care is a way of providing a family life for children who cannot live with their own parents. All over the world, foster families open their hearts to children in need and share their family life with them. Foster care refers to the system within the state that cares for minor children. When it has been deemed by the court and a child protection agency that the minor's parents are unable to properly care for them, children usually enter foster care due to abuse and/or neglect. But there are several other reasons why a child may enter foster care. The system is designed to be short-term and temporary until the court and the foster care agency can agree on what is in the best interest of a child. Foster care isn't easy, but it offers the opportunity to make a huge difference in the lives of children who so desperately need it. Fostering can be a rewarding experience for those who are passionate about caring for young people. Are you interested in becoming a foster parent? For more information on foster parenting, contact the Child Development Division within the Ministry of National Mobilization, 784-456-2949. A child in need is waiting. That could have been you. An accident that could have been avoided because your tires had almost no grip on the road. Safety is a factor that should never be overlooked when it comes to your car or whatever you drive. SVG Tire Sales and Services in Falls Avenue and in Arnesvale carries a wide selection of quality new tires to fit any car, truck, minibus, or SUV, so you can experience a comfortable and safe commute every time. We are agents for the world's most reliable brands on and off the road, including Kenda Tires, the King of the Mountain, Cooper Tires, King of the Road and Track, Osto, the king of the Outback, and High Fly, the king of the Asian Highway. We also carry new tires for light or heavy-duty trucks from MRF, High Fly, and Linglong. A reliable set of new tires keep you, your passengers, and your payload always in the safe lane. So when you need quality tires with reliability at 100%, choose SVG Tire Sales and Services in Kingstown, 457-1467, or in Arnesvale, 456-6444. SVG Tire Sales and Services. Performance and reliability proven when the rubber meets the road.
With a picturesque and panoramic view of Kingstown and surrounding areas is Murray Heights Hotel. Offering 29 fully air-conditioned rooms with cable TV, mini fridge, hot and cold shower, and telephone. At Murray Heights, we provide a varied menu from local to international cuisine. For reservations, call us at 451-2299. We also provide a professional catering service for all events. Available is our conference room with wireless internet to facilitate seminars and workshops. At Murray's Heights, there's spacious parking. Our rates are unbelievable with discounted offers for groups. Murray Heights Hotel, your home away from home.
Customize your kitchen exactly how you like it. At Jake's Kitchen, we supply natural British hardwood cabinets for all purposes, like over the hood and standard wall cabinets with wine and plate racks and different accessories to choose from. And Jake's Kitchen has the very best white and stainless steel microwaves, stoves, and fridges with water dispenser. And we've got items for other parts of the house too. Give your kitchen that posh Hollywood look for the best price in the land. At Jake's Kitchen, open 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mondays to Fridays and until 12 Saturdays. Jake's Kitchen, upstairs Caribbean Glass, Grenville Street. Call 456-2126. Email sales.caribglass@vincisurf.com.
All right, and welcome back to the program. We're discussing leadership, We're discussing the role that Dr. Gonzalez is playing, not just locally, but regionally. And the way others in the region, including leaders, look to Dr. Gonzalez for counsel and guidance. But that if you hear, choose instead to spin, take little clips, little bites here and there, and seek to make them the main event, not the sideshow. And even in this case, the statement that they were trying to use to distract Vincentian from the real issues was in fact something that many of us discuss over and over and over. Conversation that we have every day. So is it now an issue because Dr. Gonzalez says it? Because of course we listen to them, agree with and promote the idea posited by the member of Central Kingstown that women are engaging in sexual activities for Shirley Biscuit. And going as far, if things are so bad, as they say, there's such poverty that drives people to prostitution, do you think anybody would then therefore credit Evelyn? Because I want money. So the first thing you have to do is pay me so that I can get the money to buy me food or whatever, pay me bills. To credit it is like working for nothing. So clearly things ain't that bad. You in order for you to credit you. But you listen to them as they agreed with. Luke went as far as saying if you deny that, you're crazy. You're crazy. So he said, and he agreed with it 100%. Seems that our phone lines are lighting up. And we were waiting to connect. Caller, good morning. Good morning. I can hear you there.
Hello, good morning, Kerry. Let me just go back in a simple way, and you're talking about leadership. So let's talk about leadership. Can you name any place in let's take it Finland and the Grenadines that the Prime Minister can go and not get an attention? Listen, these things that you're talking about, it's only a very few that have advantage to a microphone who can come on a radio or write something in the paper and a whole lot of crap. So let me show you first. So, like, let's take for instance Beckway, where the NDP own that. Yet I see every time the Prime Minister goes to Beckway, he gets a following. It's the kids follow him. And all over any place in Kingston that the Prime Minister has gone. I chose Beckway because Beckway, we all know that's an NDP stronghold and all that. But I think in time it would come because the kids are realizing it. So let me go to South River. They have one guy who was supposed to be, maybe think he's bigger than the Prime Minister, who was the headmaster of South River School. And the Prime Minister visited his own constituency and went in, and just as the Prime Minister got out of his car or whatever, the school kids run and start hug up and singing with this man. And this guy who's supposed to, who think he owns the school or he owns the thing, right? Some big thing about the Prime Minister disrespected him because the Prime Minister didn't come and ask him if he can speak to the kids or whatever and all this kind of crap. So you see, these kind of people, these are the things we're looking at. So let's go forward now. With any place in the Caribbean, you have heard the Prime Minister gone, whether not just Jamaica or Dominica or Trinidad or whatever. The Prime Minister gather an audience. People listen. When the Prime Minister goes in America, even in New York, the place is always packed. No matter what you hear these people. So listen, that's leadership. If the Prime Minister go abroad, any place. So and I know you have to be talking about these people, but just a few, the very few who can just hang on to because they can get on the microphone, they own a radio station, or they have a very few that can call into their radio station and all kind of negative things. But the Prime Minister ain't going nowhere, and this is why I keep telling you guys, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about, and I know, like I said, you have to speak about these things. But I'm not worried about. The Luke Boy and the two cool Chris and whomever who would come because you own a radio station and thing, or the Leacock and who can get on in Parliament, and they only. They know the nice radio will be having them, and they play the badger and stuff and so on and all. So I'm not worried about that. But sorry, let me put you back to you and talk about these kind of things anyway. So that's leadership. The man is a leader. People look down at this man as we, and I just wish when on his feet decide to go, if we can even get one people of my party to be even as half as with our Prime Minister, and that's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying it in a negative way. I'm only saying it. If one or two or three of them could come up and be as just half as our Prime Minister, I love that. But I'm all already, so I'm just here for the I'm just here for the comments. I go on. Thank you. Thanks for listening to me, man.
Can you say just here for the comments? Kadi, let me say this though, in reference to the principle that you in discussing the principle that you referenced. I'll say this broadly. I have never seen a situation where anybody is expecting a guest, whether you're expecting a guest or a guest shows up. And look, when leaders come to this country, Dr. Gonzalez sit in the office and wait for the leader to come, or does he go at the airport to greet the leader? Think about it. Think about it. If I am expecting you, I'm expected to come and greet you. But even if I am not expecting you and you show up, protocol suggests that I greet you. But even good manners suggest that I greet you. So protocol suggests that I come to greet you. But even if you're in training protocol, good manners suggest that we come to greet you. It's only the same reason, it's the same principle where if I'm seated and someone comes to me, I stand and greet them. I shake their hand. I don't sit down. Same principle. So that individual who decides that I'm going to sit in my office as principal and the prime minister has to come to my office to say hello, clearly is either deficient in protocol, good manners, or both. One of two things would happen. It's either if I am not greeting you, if I am not coming to greet you, it is because I've sent an escort, a protocol officer, to get you and bring you to me. But in the absence of that, where I've sent somebody, an escort for you, then I should be greeting you. It's basic manners, good manners, or protocol. You never notice when anybody goes to the White House, the president would come outside and greet them and then walk in. I mean, think about anything at all. You know, whether or not you like Dr. Gonzalez or what, just think about those basic things. Don't you see? The leader would leave, go out, stand up, go out, shake hand, and then escort the person in. If you have an ego trip that you're on, then that is it for you. But for you to sit down in your office and expect that the prime minister will come to you, you gotta be crazy. But all of these things happen when people put their personal interests, their political interests above the national interest. And that is why we can see and appreciate and accept and cherish the leadership offered to us by Dr. Gonzalez, because we're blinded politically. We're blinded politically. So, somebody suggested, send me a message, that we should the comments of Dr. Gonzalez, we should play. We should play at some point. Not now. The full comments as on Prime Minister Rowley's page now. We play that. We play the full thing. Maybe if nobody comes this afternoon, we could probably do it this afternoon, or yeah. So you could make it work for do. You could download it and so forth. Because that's all right. I'll give you work anytime. Because if the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago thinks that it was worthwhile and worthy for the citizens and residents of Trinidad and Tobago to hear the full comments of Dr. Gonzalez, then I believe we should hear the full comments as well. I believe we should hear the full comments as well. So we'll organize to have the full comments of Dr. Gonzalez played sometime tomorrow on this radio station, so that Vincentians can hear the full extent of the comments made on that day by Dr. Gonzalez at the Crime Symposium. The full extent of the comments that so impressed Dr. Rowley that he published the whole thing. What does it say about a prophet and honor? What does it say? I ain't seen Dr. Gonzalez as a prophet, but his words are coming to pass more than any other. I want to boy, I want to read something. Come on, man. I want to read something. And Jill said this morning, Jill said something this morning. Segagan Church. Right. Sorry. So I'm looking for something to read because it is amazing. It is amazing that hold on, I'm trying to multitask here. Yeah. It is amazing that other leaders and other countries see the virtue. Okay, let's look at something else. See the virtue of what Dr. Gonzalez is doing. And some in our society, in our country, seem unable to grasp the wisdom, understand the true nature of the counsel provided by Dr. Gonzalez. And so, while they are out there trying to spin and distort and make tomfoolery, and yeah, I could go back and tell Asbot and the others that are calling me, because I did, because this was saw it. This was saw it. But I was wondering, the body Asbot, is that all you saw? Was that all you saw? Is that all you saw? One person, Rohan Olivier, commented, murder. Seriously? No. And this idiot under the name of what? We name? We cooking with cannabis 365. Yeah, I have to call him an idiot. I have to call the individual an idiot because the comment was idiotic, and if such an idiotic comment can only emanate from an idiot. You have a call, then let me take it. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm well. Good morning.
Yes, yes. More than that, let me add to what Cardi said just now. His constituency, almost 90% or even more than that of the people of his constituency voted for him. I can't see the issue with that. That's just bullshit. I walk into my house. I had to tell my brother there. So I'm asking to see that that's me. All right, my brother. You have a good one.
Have a good one, man. Have a good one. Have a good one. So that's why we are this morning. We would, as I promised, organize to get the full statement of Dr. Gonzalez played. Give you the full context of the statement, full statement. And those of us who appreciate the leadership that is provided for us by Dr. Gonzalez will continue to show full support for that leadership. We ain't going to make nobody, we ain't making anybody distract us. We ain't making anybody muddle the message because we focused. We focused. So, the real issues are what this government is doing for education, for healthcare, employment, housing, infrastructure, port, including airport and seaport. That's the real issue. Our relationship with Taiwan and how we will continue to strengthen that relationship. And the majority of Vincentians support that relationship. Those are the real issues, you know. Those are the real issues. But a lot of people, two things I realize that have a hold on people. You know, there are those who constantly criticize us no matter what. And the way they do it, you could hear the anger. And they get upset when we say they hate Dr. Gonzalez. I'll mention the name, Kingsley Freitas, for example. When people say, boss, you sound like a real hater, it annoys him. Last week he went at length to tell somebody, oh, Dr. Gonzalez spoke for hours at the airport. What does that mean? Does that mean that deep down you aren't filled with resentment for Dr. Gonzalez? Because that's the way you sound. But even as he thinks that he has the right to criticize and not be referred to as hateful and resentful, when I support, then I'm not partial. Sorry, I'm not impartial. I just saying this, and so I can't support because he has nothing good to say about me because I support. But I should allow him to criticize constantly, which is all he does, and that's good. In this country, it seems that the only thing that is good and pure and acceptable is to constantly and consistently criticize Dr. Gonzalez and his government. Because the minute you support, you're the worst of the worst. You're the lick boots. You're partial. You're biased. You're singing for a supper. Once you support. But as long as you criticize and oppose, man, I like you. You're a journalist. I like how you're impartial. You have the best of the country at heart. Just keep opposing. That's what in this country. That's the lopsided view of things in this country here. Well, I continue to support. Continue to support the government of Dr. Gonzalez. the work that they're doing, because it's a good work. And I see the way many individuals who were overlooked, marginalized, ignored under the NDP. And I'm talking about Vincentians generally, even their own. And I see how all families are given equal opportunity and equal access to opportunity under this government. So I can support that. I can support that. Until tomorrow morning, God's willing, I'm bringing her back with you for another edition of the Morning Scoop. You ain't seen me Thursday. I say that all your clock. You ain't seen me Thursday, period. May see me Wednesday. I ain't sure yet, but definitely not Thursday. I'm just seeing it all. Until then, until tomorrow morning, God's willing. And I'm back with you. Have a good day. We go talk. Very good.
There's no use to chat with the devil. It's useless. Coming out in a Babylon kingdom. Pick up it in the grave. We now go in a Babylon kingdom. Pick up it in the grave. For Satan company, them are snipers. Satan company, them are snipers.